the Twins, but it all comes to a close tonight, and they're hoping it's with a win against the Houston Astros inside Minute Maid Park. Welcome to Houston, Texas, everyone. I'm Audra Martin. A scary moment in last night's game saw Miguel Sano slide into second base and immediately roll over in excruciating pain. He eventually left on a cart, leaving everyone else to wonder if it was as bad as it looked. But our Sanford Health injury report is thankfully some good news. X-rays were negative, and after being diagnosed with a lower left leg bruise, Sano was back at the ballpark today getting some treatment before the game. He was on crutches last night, but today he was able to walk around just with a slight limp, and the outlook is promising he'll make a quick return, and that is a big relief considering the injuries he's had to deal with in the last year.
He's had some hurdles along the way, and we all know last year with that leg injury and what he had to endure this last winter of trying to rehab it and get himself in shape and play and all those kind of things. So yeah, you're very concerned when it happens that we're looking at some type of extended rehab again if things were to not turn out the way they did. So thankfully, maybe he learned something about it, that he's going to have some discomfort. That was the first time really he had a jarring impact on that particular leg, but he survived it and he's doing well.
Now, the plan earlier today was to have Miguel Sano take batting practice on the field, but after going through some treatment, he told trainers that he was still pretty sore. So just to be careful, they kept him out of BP today, but they are still confident that he can make a quick return. He may be back on the field as soon as Friday, so it's good news for the Minnesota Twins. Tonight, though, it will be up to Jake Odorizzi to try and keep these Astro bats at bay in Game 3. Dick Raymer and LaTroy Hawkins take a look at the game plan on the mound, coming up next right here on Fox Sports North.
CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today.
It's been a long road trip. The Twins won a game in Cleveland, they won a game in Texas, and tonight they'll have one more chance to win one in Houston against the defending world champions. It'll be left-hander Framber Valdez going for the Houston Astros, and Jake Odorizzi has had pretty good career numbers against the Astros. Will make the start for the Twins. And one more time from Minute Maid Park, Dick Bramer along with LaTroy Hawkins. Yeah, the Twins have been beaten a couple of times here by the Houston Astros, but they have Jake Odorizzi on the mound tonight, and he has never lost to Houston.
Well, he's been throwing the ball pretty good, and he has a very good track record against the Houston Astros. He's one of those guys that he has to keep the ball, fastball up, make sure his split finger is down, play that plane of pitching, and he's going to have to mix in some breaking balls and pitch inside to these tough Houston Astro hitters. You can have some success if you can keep them off the inside part of the plate, and we'll go from there. Hopefully you have a great night pitching in the same sequence that he's been pitching with the last couple starts.
This Houston lineup has so many weapons. You know about Correa, Altuve, Springer. Well, the guy who's emerged this year is Alex Bregman. He'll get some MVP consideration, and he's had his fingerprints all over this series.
Well, he's done a great job this homestand. 9 games, he's hitting .471, 16 for 34. I mean, if you're going to hang breaking balls to him, he's going to hit balls out all around the ballpark. Fastballs up, he's hitting hard. He's one of those players that he's not big in stature like Altuve, but he carries a big stick, and he can do a lot of damage on the baseball field. And you're right, he should have some MVP considerations.
Major League Baseball is honoring Roberto Clemente today. The number 21 might be retired at some point in Major League Baseball in honor of the Pittsburgh Pirate icon, the great humanitarian from Puerto Rico. And we'll come back on Roberto Clemente Day and get you ready for Game 3 between the Twins and the Astros. The game. Today is a day to honor one of the game's greats. Roberto Clemente's impact on the field was undeniable, but it was his work off the field that will always be remembered. His commitment to helping others will continue to influence players for generations to come. It's the Twins and Astros series finale on Roberto Clemente Day. The Twins hope to finish this week-and-a-half-long road trip with a win on Roberto Clemente Day. This was before your time, but I was very happy to be able to tell people that I actually saw Clemente play at Busch Stadium in St. Louis a long time ago. And Joe Mauer is the Twins nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award for humanitarian service in baseball. Menard's batting order for the Twins does not include Joe Mauer tonight, with the Astros starting a left-hander, Logan Forsythe in the leadoff spot. Jorge Polanco, Robbie Grossman, Mitch Garver, Tyler Austin, A-Ray Adrianza, Max Kepler, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup, Williams Astudillo, and then Johnny Field.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Framber Valdez, left-hand pitcher, making his third major league start for the Houston Astros, featuring a 4-pitch mix, 4-seam fastball, 2-seam curveball, and a changeup. Changeup has some run and some sink, but he doesn't throw it that often.
And up and away to Forsythe. There's one relief appearance mixed in with his 2 prior starts. The Astros do have some injuries to their starting rotation they hope to take into the playoffs. Lance McCullers is out. And Charlie Morton's out. 2-0 to Logan Forsythe, taking over the leadoff spot. Then Polanco and Grossman. Missing inside 3-0. In his 3 prior appearances, 7 walks in 14 1/3 innings, but 10 strikeouts.
Framber started the season in Corpus Christi.
And a 4-pitch walk puts Forsythe aboard. They'll bring up Polanco. Northland Ford defense for the Astros. Speedy Tony Kemp is in left. George Springer in center. Josh Reddick in right. Left side of the infield, Yuli Gurriel. Alex Bregman at short. Carlos Correa not in the starting lineup. Altuve and White on the right side. McCann catching. And we've seen Gurriel at first. We've seen him at second. And tonight we'll see him at third. Ball 1 now to Jorge Polanco. And a trip to the mound, 5 pitches into the outing with McCann trying to get Valdez's control straightened out.
I like it. I like it. Just because instead of wait till late, 8 pitches or 12 pitches into, no, let's go out there and try to get this thing straightened out real quick.
5 pitches, 5 balls. Forsythe aboard, 1-0 to Polanco.
Framber Valdez, he had 13 starts in Corpus Christi this year and 1 start in AAA before his call up to the major leagues.
There's a strike. His 3 prior appearances against lineups that in the second half of the year have struggled to score runs. The Mariners, a relief appearance, 4 1/3 innings, just a couple of hits and 1 walk. And then back-to-back starts against the Angels, each lasting 5 innings apiece. Wearing the bunt, taking a strike. It's 1-2. So far, pretty good trip to the mound.
Great trip. You got to stop it before it gets too far down the line. Just a veteran catcher going out there, recognizing that there's a problem and addressing it sooner rather than later.
And the dirt blocked by McCann, 2-2. Twins took 2 out of 3 from the Astros in early April at Target Field. And the Astros have won the first 2 of this series.
We talk about how great that Cole Stewart threw the ball last night, and I thought about it and I was thinking, I'm like, wow, you know what, he did have a veteran catcher back there and he just didn't see him shaking him off very much, and I think they had it was a good battery mate. They're good for each other.
2-2 to Polanco. Bouncer to third. 5, 4. And the ball gets by, and Polanco will reach on a fielder's choice. Altuve's throw skipped by Tyler White. So instead of a double play, it's just a fielder's choice.
Good breaking ball. Very tight breaking ball from Valdez. Was able to get Polanco to ground into a 5-4 fielder's choice.
The ball looked like it could have been caught and should have been caught for a double play, but White didn't make the catch. Not that bad of a throw by Altuve. Here's Grossman's had a good series in his hometown. Average up to 263. Missing outside, ball 1. Grossman, of course, broke in with the Astros, and the Twins got him on waivers from Cleveland.
Houston native. Grossman brought some barbecue into the clubhouse today.
Down low, and it is 2-0. And let me guess, you got some of that too.
No, I'm not a fan of the Texas
not a barbecue? Oh, okay.
Not the Texas barbecue. Not me.
Bill Cousins over here, our stats guy, is cringing. He's a big Texas barbecue guy, and
to each his own.
I'm glad I'm sitting between you two right now.
I didn't grow up in Texas.
And now back to erratic control for Valdez as Grossman is up there now with a 3-0 count. Three and 0. The Astros have already used a mound visit. Nothing wrong with using one of them in the first inning, but you don't want them piling up too early either. See if Grossman takes here with Mitch Garver on deck. And he missed badly. Managed to throw strikes to Polanco and got him out. Now here's another mound visit. This one from Brent Strong. First and second. And one out. There are walks here in the first inning. And Strom was motioning, I think, to Altuve to come in and help translate here. That's exactly what's happening. With Valdez's English not being very good and Altuve bilingual. And Garver will have a chance with 2 men aboard and only 1 out. So 3 batters in. The Astros have used 2 mound visits.
Coming into this game, left-handers are hitting 125 off of Valdez, and right-handers are hitting 125 also off of Valdez.
Garver hitting cleanup. Twins have a bench tonight of Rosario, who won't play, Sano, who won't play, Cave, Mauer, Jimenez, and Petit. Ball 1. Well, what has happened to the Twins, I think at all 3 stops in this road trip, when given an opportunity, and I mean given, with control issues in some of the early innings, the Twins have not done a very good job of taking advantage of that in Cleveland, in Texas, and even here in the first inning the other day against Dallas Keuchel. That's called a strike, 1-1.
They've struggled to get that big hit in big situations early on in the ball game with runners in scoring position.
Breaking ball wide.
Doesn't look like Valdez have a very good feel for his breaking ball. He threw one good one to Polanco to get him to ground into the fielder's choice, but the other 3 have been either way outside, arm side, or down in the dirt. You keep that front shoulder and find him a consistent release point. We can throw some in the strike zone.
To third, Gurriel to Altuve, and a second chance for the double play, and the Astros turn it. Not many strikes, but 2 of them were put in play, and 1 of them an inning-ending double play. looks like he's got a real good chance of doing some damage in October again. Been a much better road team than home team for some reason. Nevertheless, with this Menards batting order, they'll try to make it a sweep over the Twins. George Springer, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Tyler White, Yuli Gurriel, Brian McCann, Josh Reddick, Evan Gattis, and Tony Kemp.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Jake Odorizzi, featuring a 4-pitch mix: fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, and the go-to pitch is his split finger. He's 3-0 against the Houston Astros in 4 starts. Last time he started at Minute Maid Ballpark was August 18th, 2015.
Beat the Astros at Target Field earlier this year. He'll face Springer, Altuve, and Bregman. And first pitch misses, ball 1. The Astros are 39-32 at home, but they're 47-21 on the road. The Twins beat them twice in Minnesota, and they've only lost 19 road games other than those 2.
That was early.
And cold. 1-1. Odorizzi's shown some signs of doing what the Twins hope he, Jose Barrios, and Kyle Gibson will all do, and that is pitch well in the season's final month. Odorizzi started out pitching very well. The middle months weren't very good at all for him. Now he hopes to finish with a good final month. He figures to be a part of the rotation again next year.
September's a big month. You know, you get your horses up at the top of that rotation, showing those young guys who got called up in September, and you know, just how to go about their business and what's needed of them and what's required of them to be successful at the big league level.
You look at players individually, at least this has been from my chair for 35 years. You look at September and you find out who might have the stamina and the wherewithal to give you production in October. It's not absolute. We know that September, a lot of things are diluted. There are a lot of hitters and pitchers who are up who wouldn't be up earlier in the year, or for that matter in a playoff situation in October. But just in terms of the grind, playing that many baseball games, if you run out of gas in September, no one's going to like your chances much in October. 3-2.
So you have to play mind tricks with yourself because it's all mental.
There's a called third strike. Springer never swung the bat. He took 6 pitches and ends up a strikeout victory.
Good 3-2 fastball, just down and away, right in the box. It was a strike. It just didn't give Springer a chance to swing at the dirty pitch.
Take a look at the Twins out in the outfield. Brought to you by Northland Ford. Johnny Field in right, Templer in center, Grossman in left, Adrianza, Polanco, Forsythe, and Austin the infielders, and Mitch Garver doing the catching. Here's Altuve. Didn't play on Labor Day. Been dealing with a knee issue, and Odorizzi shaves the outside corner. Odorizzi, the Twins' opening day starter, 6 shutout innings against the Orioles. Strike 2 in his last couple starts against Oakland and Cleveland, 2 teams that might very well be in the playoffs. He's pitched much better. 12 1/3 innings, 4 earned runs allowed. Hasn't given up a home run since August 3rd.
August 24th against Oakland, he had his longest outing of the year at 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run.
Swung on and missed. And Altuve's gone on 3 pitches. 2 down.
Pizza Ranch for the win. Do not let Bregman beat you. He's been the hottest guy in this lineup. He's done some damage against the Twins so far in the first 2 games. Let's see if we can keep him hitless tonight and make some of those other guys beat you.
More and more we're seeing the Twins do that, and you can see Bregman looking out in the field saying, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4 outfielders. Forsythe in the left field corner, 3 infielders, and you're asking Austin, who's about equidistant between first and second, to show a little bit of range on the right side of the infield because he's the only guy there.
It's when you know you're swinging the bat extremely well when they put 4 outfielders out there.
Well, we've seen it. Well, we saw it in the Texas series with Gallo and some other hitter. We saw it in the Cleveland series with Jose Ramirez. And a strike.
I think it worked against Jose Ramirez. It didn't work in it didn't work in Arlington. I think maybe it was Guzman, maybe first baseman.
You can see where Bregman puts the ball in play on balls batted less than 200 feet. So again, why put someone where he's least likely to hit the ball? Seen him do first inning damage here with a home run on Monday in the first inning, and then a double in the first inning last night. 2-1 to Bregman. Three and one. White is on deck.
Got a right-hand hitter and Tyler White on deck. Bregman right here. You don't have to give him any. You don't have to give in to him. You don't have to throw him a strike. If you want to chase, let him chase. Don't give him anything good to hit.
13 pitches, 7 strikes for Odorizzi, but he's got 2 strikeouts. Half swing, I think he went, and Jeff Nelson thinks so too. 3-2. Full count to tonight's Houston shortstop. He missed up high, a walk, putting Bregman aboard. That'll bring up Tyler White. And Forsythe sprints in from the left field corner. So many parts of this Houston team that are enviable, and one of them is the depth of their lineup. Now White's taking over the cleanup spot here. He has 11 home runs, but then they go 10, 5, 13, 24, and 5. They've got power up and down the lineup, but they're a different team than they were a year ago when they won it all. Their lineup was just tremendous. Just one hitter complemented the next, and it was a really well-run lineup. A well-run machine. White in the box, and he takes a strike. Talking with Mike Stanton, who does some pre and post game work for the Houston Astros network. He was the part of the 1991 Braves team that lost to the Twins in the World Series, and he said that they've done it a different way this year. Now their strength is the pitching, both in the rotation and the bullpen, and the lineup still is very good. And there's strike 2. But the reason the Astros are so good this year is mainly because of a tremendous pitching staff this year. But you can't go to sleep on this lineup either.
This starting rotation is something fierce. I talked to Presley before the game, and he was talking how excited he was to be pitching against his former team. I said, I didn't see any jitters. Usually you have jitters when you move on from a team and have to face them. He had none.
Outside now, 1-2. Hasn't been a ball put in play yet in this first inning.
1-2 count. Odorizzi. He hasn't set up for a good split finger or slider middle away. Strike the ball. Try to get him to swing at one like he had Bregman swing it on 3-1.
I think the only swing we've had here in this first inning was Altuve's check swing. That was his strike 3.
Bregman had a check swing at 3-2, 3-1, the slider.
1-2.
Get him in those counts like that and use their aggressiveness against him.
Now up, it's 2-2.
Tyler White kind of reminds me of Casey McGee.
Oh, there's a name.
Guys that can really swing the bat, hit the ball where it's pitched. Not gonna burn you around the base paths. Definitely not speedsters. Can do enough with the bat. If you don't pitch them very carefully, they can do some serious damage.
It's 2-2.
Breaking ball.
Got him. Well, it wasn't the most eventful inning, with not one ball put in play, 3 strikeouts and a walk, and a scoreless first inning. That ball is long gone.
There's some intensity right there.
This is a blast to left. Almost got it into the third deck. My goodness, Austin. And it'll be Tyler Austin leading off for the Twins here in the second inning. We've had 2 balls put in play, both ground balls, 2 hoppers to Gurriel. Turned one of them into a double play, and Austin takes strike 1. Valdez hoping that he survived his lone inning of wildness.
Two walks, 2 mound visits in that first inning for Valdez.
Swing and a foul, 2 strikes. Valdez walked Forsythe, the opening batter for the Twins, on 4 pitches. 2 plate appearances later, walked Grossman on 4 pitches, but got out of the inning without allowing a hit or a run. And Austin strikes out, 1 away. They'll bring up Adrianza.
Valdez showed his first 2 fastballs were sinkers with good movement, arm side run. And then he broke them out with that tight curveball, 12-6, 11-5. Very, very tight for a strike.
Third switch hitter in the lineup for the Twins. It's A-Ray Adrianza. Down low, ball 1. Up and away. Time called. 22 pitches for Valdez, only 8 strikes.
and away.
Valdez didn't like what McCann was putting down. Had to step off the mound.
The third walk by Valdez, and they've all been 4-pitch walks. Adrianza aboard. Let's see if the Twins try to do some running. They've not done much. Adrianza has 4 steals and 5 tries, just 39 stolen bases for the team. Left-handed batter Kepler is up. The only lefty in the lineup, with Rosario, Cave, and Mauer on the bench. Missing badly inside. Astros used 2 mound visits in the first inning, and Valdez is on one of his erratic runs here. 5 straight out of the zone.
Did a great at bat, throwing the ball over the plate against Austin, and fell back into what he was doing in the first inning against Adrianza. Just flying open, not giving himself, putting his body in a position where he can throw a strike and be consistently in the strike zone.
26 pitches, only 8 strikes. Strike call. Given his erratic control, this might not surprise you, but he spent most of the year in Double A. Spent about 3 weeks in Triple A. Finds himself in the big leagues. So he is not a finished product by any means.
Good fastball. He's in the strike zone, letting his movement do a lot of the work, and that breaking ball is very tight.
3-1. Williams Astudillo is on deck. Valdez probably can't wait to face him, because that's one guy he probably won't walk. A strike call. Now it's 3-2. Adrianza hasn't shown any inclination of taking off for second, but he might now with a full count and 1 out.
There's one thing I hadn't seen from Valdez, a big leg kick. So he's quick to the plate.
There goes Adrianza in the pitch line to center field. Adrianza around second. He'll gain third base. So Kepler has a good at bat. He gets the game's first hit. The Twins have a threat going here with 1 out. And that'll bring up Astudillo.
Three-two fastball coming back over to the middle part of the plate. Kepler was able to line that ball into center field. Adrianza off to the races on a 3-2 count, standing up at third base.
Astudillo with 31 at bats. He's only struck out twice, and he has yet to walk, and that's pretty consistent with the type of hitter he was in the minor leagues. Check swing foul. He is contrary to the contemporary hitter, where they say there are 3 true outcomes: a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. And he can hit a home run, but he doesn't do the other 2 very often at all. 1 strike.
He's never seen a pitch that he didn't like.
Adrianza bluffs towards home. That was a hard bluff, and it got Gurriel's attention, who came in from his deep third fielding position. And Adrianza, he might have had a shot at it. Valdez was not aware that he'd come about a third of the way down the line. Now he starts about a third of the way down the line. Now 2-1. dribbled in front of the mound or in front of the plate, and Adrianza frozen, unable to score. Kepler to second, 2 away. The infield was playing back, and they would have conceded a run, but Astudillo hit it the one place where the run could not score. 2 down, and now Johnny Field.
Real good fastball to Astudillo right there, sinking down to the lower half of the strike zone. He was able to just get a little bit of that ball and hit it out back to Valdez. Had to check the run at third base, make sure he headed back to third base, and made a good throw at first to get Astudillo.
Here's Johnny Field off to a slow start with the Twins. Got a chance to get a big hit here in the second inning. Inside a ball. You saw Field's overall numbers, but as a Twin, 1 hit, a single, and 22 at bats. Here a hit to the outfield should score a couple. Bouncer to short. Bregman has it. Fires on the run, and the Twins get a walk and a single, leave 2 aboard. Still no score.
More promising news on the injury front. Eddie Rosario took BP on the field today, and it went really well. He says the pain in that quad is totally gone, and the plan is for him to be back on the field in the lineup on Friday. Chris Jimenez says one of the biggest reasons that made him excited to come back to Minnesota was getting to work with Mitch Garver again. He admits he was keeping up with Garver's season from afar and was beyond impressed, and now that he's been back around him, he says he's a totally different guy from a season ago with his confidence on the field and in the clubhouse. Gregorio Petit had a special moment before the game yesterday. He lives here in Houston, so his wife brought their 3 kids to the game, but she didn't tell them that he had been called back up to the Twins. So they came down to the field, and he was there waiting to give them a big surprise. It was an emotional moment, guys.
Fly to center. Kepler glides over, makes the catch. Thank you, Audra. 1 away. First ball put in play by the Astros. And it is a fly out to Max Kepler in center. 1 down. That'll bring up Brian McCann. McCann, the one Houston player that's had great success against Odorizzi. It's not just 13 hits and 31 at bats. He's hit 3 home runs against him in 31 at bats. Coming up with 1 down and the bases empty in the second. I was thinking what Mike Stanton was saying about this Astro team contrasted to last year's team that won it all. For most of last year, the Astros didn't have Justin Verlander. For all of last year, they didn't have Garrett Cole. And so now they've added those two top shelf starting pitchers. And then they've augmented the bullpen too with, well, Ryan Presley and some others. Roberto Osuna. 1-0 to McCann. And now 2-0. You look at how the pitching staff has changed. Ken Giles dealt to Toronto. Osuna's been added. Presley. Keuchel, a free agent after this year. 2-0. Brian McCann.
He's done a great job building this ball club. That adding Verlander last year was the move that put them over the top ahead of everyone else.
Of course, they traded prospects to get him. And therein lies one of the motivations for the Twins to do what they did in what they determined was going to be a lost season in terms of competing not only with Cleveland but with the Yankees and the Red Sox and so on and so forth. These names that came into the Twins system may never play for the Twins, but as assets they can be dealt in the near future for when you hope the Twins might be in a position where the Astros were last year. You give up some top prospects and you can get whoever the Justin Verlander of the world might be in 2019, 20, or 21. So the prospects serve a twofold purpose.
Right.
One is to develop within the system and help this club, the Minnesota Twins, but other teams might be interested as well, and then you can benefit from their progress within your system. McCann takes a walk with 1 out.
To help them in the big leagues or help them to make their big league team better being part of a trade.
Right, exactly. A 1-out walk to McCann, and now Josh Reddick. Reddick just 1 for 10 against Odorizzi. Fly ball to center, and Kepler back a few steps. And that's out number 2. The first inning, a bit of an aberration for Odorizzi. While he can strike some people out, his outs usually come in the fashion the way they have here in the second inning.
Fly ball pitcher. Not wanting to get a lot of ground balls.
I'll bring up Gaddis. One thing the Houston lineup did last year, and Gaddis was a big part of it, so was George Springer. They cut way down on their strikeouts.
Sure, they figured out you put the ball in the play, you got a better chance of things happening. Good things are happening.
There is a strike on the outside corner. One of the challenges for the Twins lineup as it evolves and matures and gets better and older and all of that is to cut down on the number of strikeouts. From Sano all the way through the lineup. That's generally what happens as hitters get more experience.
See more pitches, more at bats, get a lot more comfortable in the big leagues, and then you understand that going up there seeing as many pitches as you can, you're taking something away from the pitcher. You're taking a small little chink out of their armor for the next guy. And if you're up there for 4, 5, 6, 7 pitches, the longer you're up there, the better chance you're going to have of getting a pitch where the pitcher's going to make a mistake.
So missed 1 and 2. And even if you make an out, the guy in the on deck circle can benefit from
seeing all this,
seeing all of that, and maybe the pitcher isn't as fresh as he might otherwise be if the hitter in front of him popped up on the first pitch. Sano was supposed to take batting practice, at least that was the original plan. Then they backed off of that. The hope is with the off day tomorrow, he'll be. Paul Molitor said he hopes to maybe have Sano in the lineup on Friday. We'll see if that turns out to be the case. It's down and away 2 and 2, and then about that time Rosario will hope to be in the lineup as well.
Get both those guys back at the same time, hopefully on Friday. But yesterday when Sano slid into second base, it looked a lot worse than what it was, and I understand how he was frightened, because that was the first time he had some real impact on that leg since he's had that surgery and had that rod put in there in his leg. And Tony Leo told me, it's like, for him to break that rod, he would have to be in a car accident. So that's how strong that is.
Called third strike, fourth strikeout already for Odorizzi, and we've got a couple of scoreless innings here at Minute Maid Park. Twins off-season baseball camps are back and are presented by select Heartland Chevy dealers. Camps provide players an opportunity to continue developing their skills as well as prepare for tryouts at the start of a new season. Included are 5 to 10 hours of instruction addressing general baseball skills taught by an experienced staff of dedicated instructors. For a full schedule and registration, visit twinsbaseball.com/training. Dick Bramer, LaTroy Hawkins, Audra Martin here at Minute Maid Park. Second time through the order for Framber Valdez, who walked Logan Forsythe on 4 pitches. Twins have taken 3 walks. They have a hit, but have yet to score a run. And inside to Forsythe.
So if the Twins hitters can continue to be patient, and when he does throw the ball over the heart of the plate, put a good swing on it.
It's down the right field line. Long run for Reddick, and he gets it. Outfielder's always had really good range. He covered a lot of ground to haul that in foul territory, one away. And that'll bring up Polanco. Look at Reddick and where he started. Not quite in your picture there, but there he is. It's a lot of range. Short fly ball hit to the opposite field. Polanco reached in a fielder's choice, hit a 2-hopper to Gurriel at third. Probably should have been a double play. Altuve's throw was a little low, but White in his stretch didn't make the catch, and then later in the inning, as luck would have it, Garver bounced into an around the horn double play. Down and in again, 2-0. 40 pitches for Valdez. He's walked 3, and all 3 walks have been 4-pitch walks. Ooh, right over his cap in the center field. A 1-out single will get Grossman to the plate.
You're seeing he putting himself in some very dangerous counts consistently, and that 2-0 fastball down the middle, Polanco about took his hat off.
Tonight's BP picture involves Robbie Grossman, who's done pretty well with fastballs as well. Grossman with a 500 average against fastballs over the last 2 weeks. The league average is 284. And because of that, Robbie's average has climbed into the 260s. Oh, they've got it picked off, but that looked like a ball. Polanco is out. It looked from up here. Not that a balk was called, but it looked from up here. Valdez clearly strode towards home plate. There's that imaginary line at 45-degree angle. My goodness, he looked like he stepped towards home plate. That's a balk, isn't it?
I think it all depends on the umpire. I mean, you're right. There is an imaginary line.
You can't argue balks. That's why Paul Molitor isn't arguing. But boy, it sure looked like that was wherever that line would be drawn, that he strode towards home plate.
But I got to look at it like this. You have to play it safe because you don't know what type of move he has. You have to play it safe until he shows his hand.
Outside. 2-0.
That ball had so much movement to his arm side run that it started out as a strike and kept running out of the strike zone.
Pitch up, fastball up, and it was fouled straight back to the screen. .45th pitch coming up for Valdez with 2 gone in the third. Three and 1 with Garver on deck. Good 45 pitches, just 17 strikes, and yet the Twins don't have a run. Wrap to third, easy play for Gurriel. Grossman retired, and Valdez, despite it all, faces just 3 men in the inning.
Today in Atlanta by who else? The visiting Boston Red Sox. It was Brandon Phillips in his Red Sox debut, nonetheless, capping things off the 2-run home run in the 9th inning. Boston was trailing in this game by 6 runs heading into the 8th inning. They came back to win it 9-8. Here's a fun fact for you. Entering today, Major League teams were 0-487 when down by 6 or more runs in the 8th inning. Leave it to the Boston Red Sox to have the win in a win like this. Guys?
Yeah, I was watching that game. 7-1 in the 8th inning, and the Braves tied it up, or the Red Sox tied it up. And Freddie Freeman hit a home run to put them up 8-7. And Phillips, who was just activated by the Red Sox for today's game, hits a 2-run home run. And the Red Sox ended up winning it. Braves started the day with a 3-game cushion over the Phillies.
Brandon Phillips has never been short of swag. He leaned on that fastball.
Pose after the follow through. If they ever make a statue of Brandon Phillips, it'll be a pose similar to the one he used after he hit the home run.
A little back leg action.
2 strikes to Tony Kemp leading off the 3rd inning. Odorizzi's looked sharp here with 4 strikeouts, a couple of medium deep fly balls, and 1 walk to McCann, the one guy in the lineup who's done some damage against Odorizzi over the years. 0-2. Makes contact, but watch the follow through. And not so much a bat flip, but a bat drop.
He's always had the swagger.
1-2. Kemp. Ball lifted to left. And Grossman underneath it. Another fly ball out. 1 down. Other baseball news today. Really awful news for baseball. Not just the Angels, but Shohei Ohtani's been told it is recommended that he have Tommy John surgery now. Pitched a few days ago. Had a short outing. He had a diagnosed tear before he signed with the Angels. They discovered another one in the spring. And new damage now to his right ulnar collateral ligament. And Tommy John surgery has been recommended.
Not surprised at all.
Well, the interesting thing is the Angels have left it up to Ohtani as to how to proceed or when to proceed. He's in the lineup. He can still swing the bat. But of course, Twins fans know that when he was in the minor leagues, Miguel Sano, a position player, not a pitcher, had Tommy John surgery and lost a year, and so too did Alex Kirilloff. The ball laced to left, a base hit. Grossman hustling along the warning track. He'll spin and fire. And good job by Grossman getting to that ball. If it had beaten him to the wall, Springer would have had a double.
Springer's playing on the warning track out there. He didn't run across to get that ball in the grass. He ran all the way across the warning track to get that ball.
Well, we talked about it last night. The dimensions here are so short. 315 down the line. And then, after the angle out there, it deepens to 362. This is a really short left field here. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Altuve. Went down swinging his first time up. Anyway, if Ohtani does have surgery as is recommended, and even if he waits till the end of this season to for some reason get more at bats, which if that's what it's going to take for him to be healthy and pitch again, I think they would be prudent to get it done sooner rather than later, but that's their business. But there's no guarantee that he'll be swinging a bat for a full season next year. It takes a long time for even a position player to recover from that surgery.
Well, they got roughly 3.5 weeks left. I'm not sure that him having it now or him having it on October the 1st really makes a difference. 3.5 weeks. I mean, he wouldn't have this problem if they didn't let him hit. Just go ahead and pitch and take your year off. But I thought he was going to avoid it because Tanaka had the same symptoms when he first came over.
The PRP
he
injection.
did the PRP injections.
Just off the outside corner, 2-1 to Altuve. Like the Twins season has evolved in a kind of a lost season. The Angels 5 games below 500.
So I wonder in Japan, do they have an issue with Tommy John surgeries like we do here?
Yeah, I don't.
And so all those guys that come over here, they usually go up under the knife between the first and the third year here.
To avoid that, at least on the pitching side, the Angels, I think, did. They were very cautious. They just pitched Ohtani once a week, typically on Sunday afternoons, which was kind of his workload in Japan. 2-1 to Altuve. Popped up. Very short right field. And Johnny Field catch. That's the second out. That'll bring up Bregman. 4 strikeouts, 4 fly ball outs, and now Bregman, who drew a walk in the first, will come up with Springer at first base. Speaking of Alex Kirilloff, he's 5 for 5 tonight for Fort Myers in the playoffs.
If he's 5 for 5, I mean they're winning.
With a runner on, just 3 outfielders, but 3 infielders to the left side. Last time Bregman was up, the Twins had 4 outfielders, sending Forsythe to the left field corner, and then they ended up walking. Well, Odorizzi ended up walking Bregman anyway. Forsythe had nothing to do with the walk to Bregman. That was all on Odorizzi. And a strike. What we've seen from Odorizzi over the last few starts, much sharper control. And I don't mean more balls than strikes, just quality strikes. They're not down the middle. They're in the frame of the strike zone, right around the edge of the box that we show on the screen. 7 of 12 first pitch strikes.
Working those edges.
And there's another one. There isn't anything about Odorizzi's fastball that's going to allow him to miss out over the plate. It's 91, maybe 92. But when you pitch out there, close to the outside corner, 91 can be pretty effective.
Odorizzi has some good carry on his fastball late life. That helps. His 91 miles an hour, his 92 play just a little harder than what it looks, than what the radar gun says.
Oh, up and away.
He can get him swinging at one of those breaking pitches out of the zone like he did the last at bat on that 3-1 pitch.
Springer goes with it all lifted to left. It's back and gone. Bregman does it again. His 49th home run of the year. Things rehearsed now when Bregman hits a home run once he gets to the dugout. And they've been pretty creative about it. More home runs the last 5 games. The stare. So 2-0. Bregman again doing the early damage.
Odorizzi could have that pitch back. So all those balls he's been hitting out are middle in. That fastball was middle in. Able to put a good swing on it.
Strike on the outside corner. Just talked about not leaving pitches there and pitching to the perimeter of the strike zone, and then no sooner did I say that and he put one right down the middle, and it's a 2-run home run.
Pitching to the outer edges.
But I mean, let's say this. No pitcher is going to have perfect control. You got to give the hitter credit for hitting the mistake, right?
Correct. That is correct. They get paid to hit mistakes.
On Monday, Bregman started the scoring with a first inning home run. Last night he started the scoring with an RBI double. And now tonight he starts the scoring with a third inning 2-run home run. I thought you said that the Pizza Ranch key to the win was to not let Bregman beat the Twins.
Well, the guys I was talking about, they didn't hear it.
2-0 with 2 gone. And 1-2 the count to Tyler White.
Odorizzi's 51st pitch coming.
Missing, and now it's 2-2. The first 2 hits of the ball game against Odorizzi. Springer's sharp single to left, and Bregman's 29th home run.
I hadn't seen Odorizzi throw a split finger to right-hand hitters just of yet. It's a real good pitch for him if he can get it from strike to ball.
A weak pop-up, and Odorizzi makes the play in front of Austin. That ends the inning. But Bregman does it again. The Astros have a 2-0 lead.
From her, Valdez, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout so far through the first 3 innings. And Bregman, Alex Bregman gets the scoring started with a 2-run blast in the 3rd inning off for Jake Odorizzi to give the Astros a 2-0 lead.
And as they've had to do all series long, the Twins will try to crawl out of an early hole. It'll be Mitch Garver at the plate, then Tyler Austin, and A-Ray Adrianza. Garver bounced into a double play his first time up, and he takes high, ball 1. Glad to hear Chris Jimenez laud Garver for being so much more advanced than he was a year ago when Jimenez was his teammate late in the season last year. Snapped his bat, scooped up by Gurriel. Away. And the improvement Jimenez is speaking of primarily is his improvement behind the plate. The assumption all along has been Garver's going to hit, and he has hit in the 260s with some power, gotten some clutch hits. Not that time though. 1 down. Here's Tyler Austin.
Been very good with 2 strikes, 2 strike hits. But Jimenez is that type of teammate. He's gonna pump you up and give you all the compliments because he's a student of the game. He watches the game. You can tell he was watching the Twins games when he wasn't here, when he was in Iowa,
and when he wasn't playing. 1 down. Here's Austin with 1 ball. Now a bouncer foul. Austin approaching 200 at bats. He's got 189. He's got 77 strikeouts. He also has 15 home runs and 7 doubles. 34 runs batted in. Basically, I think doing from the right side of the plate what the Twins imagined Logan Morrison would do from the left side of the plate. And Morrison didn't do enough of it. And Austin has jumped into the Twins lineup and already hit 7 home runs and 67 at bats. And foul. 2-2.
One big, strong young man, Tyler Austin. Hit the ball a long way.
Taken down and away. 3-2. We told you about the strikeouts. Just 7 walks. Excuse me, 15 walks. 7 with the Twins. Checked his swing, took a call for a strike, 2 down. Bring up Adrian. Target Field suites are available for single game rental for groups of 16 to 150 plus. You can choose from the intimate Premier Suites, flexible event suites, luxurious Puckett Suite, or the spacious Skyline Suites. No matter which you choose, food and beverages included with every purchase. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS to schedule your suite at Target Field.
Valdez has been struggling with his command, and he respected the power of Tyler Austin right there, and he threw him a breaking ball back door for strike 3 looking.
Fouled off the bat of Adrianza. It's 0-2.
Starting to feel like we're letting Valdez get into a little good groove. He had him on the ropes the first couple of innings, wasn't able to push any runs across.
The line foul. Well, that pickoff probably lifted his spirits up a little bit. He picked Polanco off first with 1 out in the 3rd. And the 2 runs that he has to work with now probably doesn't hurt either. Outside.
It's the hardest fastball Valdez has shown tonight. It was 95 miles an hour, but you can tell he got out of his mechanics. He got rotational. He was trying to throw the pitch just a little too hard and was up and away.
Keeping Gurriel busy. And a 1-2-3 4th. Valdez now set down 4 in a row. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities.
and by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Astros jump out in front. Alex Bregman home run. 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. And Yuli Gurriel will lead things off against Jake Odorizzi. Twins head home after the game tonight, and they'll get in the middle of the morning and have an off day tomorrow, and then open up a homestand Friday. Here's a fly ball to right, but playable for Field. One pitch, one out. Royals are in over the weekend, then the Yankees come in, and then it's back on the road for another week-and-a-half long road trip. Going to Kansas City, Detroit, and Oakland. Then the road part of the schedule is done. The Twins will finish the season at home, where they played very well, but the problem, of course, has been on the road. Twins 10 games above 500 at home and 22 games below 500 on the road. This is a team that actually played pretty decent on the road last year, but a lot of the names and players have changed since last year. But no secret why this team has had a disappointing year. It has nothing to do with how they played at home, but everything to do with finding ways to win on the road.
Never figured that out my whole career. Why teams play something better at home and some play better on the road. I've been on teams where we're very good at home and terrible on the road, and I've been on teams that's been the exact opposite.
And McCann won't get a chance to swing the bat here either. Odorizzi walked him. We told you about McCann's numbers against Odorizzi. Take a look at it here. Just off the kneecap, a breaking ball.
Slow breaking ball. Won't even have to ice that tonight.
Josh Reddick hit a fly ball to center his first time up. The Astros road record and the Twins road record almost mirror images of one another. Twins are 24 and 46, and the Astros on the road are 47 and 21. Twins actually have a better home record than the Astros do. 1-0, and Reddick takes a strike.
Split finger, first pitch to Reddick.
Ask Paul Molitor about that pitch. Odorizzi throws it. Oliver Drake throws it out of the Twins bullpen, but it's a pitch that isn't used as much as it used to be. I guess the cutter's kind of become the faddish pitch to throw over the last 15 years or so. You ever try throwing a splitter?
Threw a splitter back in 98, 97, 98. I did it and dabbled with it, but it put a lot of stress on my elbow. It's the first time my elbow had ever hurt, so I had to scrap that real quick.
2-1.
You have to spread your fingers wide and put the ball in there if you're throwing a split finger, and all that pressure, put all that pressure on your ulnar nerve, and didn't feel right. But you have some guys who have, you know, they're very flexible in their fingers, and they can get them wide enough to, you know, almost put those two fingers around a softball.
2-2. Just missed the outside corner. 2-2. That pitch was the ticket to the Hall of Fame for some pitchers. Jack Morris as a starter, Bruce Sutter as a reliever.
I think Rick Sutcliffe threw one. Right? I don't know if they were splits or fork balls. You know, some guys call it the fork ball, some guys call it the split finger.
Lifted foul, out of play. Paul Molitor said Eddie Guardado, who picked one up, is always encouraging some of his bullpen core to give it a try. It was a very effective pitch for Eddie.
Eddie had a pretty good split finger. He's taught it to a few guys around the league when he was playing and since he's retired and got into coaching.
Another 3-2 pitch to Reddick. 62nd pitch for Odorizzi. Another foul. This is what we've seen happen to Odorizzi so frequently in the middle months of the season. Not so much the last couple starts, certainly not in the early innings here tonight. Just one foul ball after another. Gaddis will hit next, barring a double play. It'll be later this inning if this at bat ever ends. This one will stay fair. Grossman running towards the line. Finally, Reddick was put away. That's the second out on another fly ball out. It'll bring up Gaddis.
I always hated guys that, you know, made you throw 6, 7, 8 pitches, and then they just made a weak contact to get out.
Gaddis called out on strikes his first time up. That's wall to left. Another 2-run home run, and it's 4 to Houston. Looked like he knew it was coming, just leaned across the plate and jerked it up by the train tracks. Home run with the second out on the board. See, Garver wanted it down, and the pitch was elevated. 25th home run for Evan Gaddis, and it's 4-0. Measure that at 430 feet.
It was a 70th and 71st RBI on the season. It's a prime example. When you miss your spot, and you make a bad pitch, especially with the fastball, in this ballpark, guys are trying to pull the ball. They're not trying to go straight away to center field, the deepest part of this ballpark, or hit the ball over the Phillips 66 sign at 404. No, they're trying to hit it to the short porch.
Inside, and now 1-1.
But that ball would have been out of any ballpark.
1-1 to Kemp. Fly ball to left his first time up.
I was talking with Evan Gaddis yesterday on the field. He said, I got one hit off of you in my career. And I was thinking to myself, did you? Like, I don't remember that one.
Austin to the bag, and the inning ends. But another 2-run home run for the Astros, and it's 4-0.
A lot of power back then. He's still got the power. 430 feet worth, 107 miles per hour worth. And 430 is just an estimate because it hit a very hard object about 350 feet from home plate. There's Max Kepler. Twins find themselves behind now 4-0. Astudillo and Field will follow. Kepler single, got the first hit of the ball game, lining a single to left center field. Kepler last year had a split of 120 points between his proficiency against lefties and righties. That's huge. 272 and 152. Really struggled against lefties. Now his spread isn't as big, but it's in the opposite direction. Kepler's hitting before his hit in the second inning tonight, hitting 248 against lefties and 214 against righties. So as the Twins look ahead to 2019, what they want from Kepler is the good hitter against righties last year when he hit 272, and the much improved hitter he's been this year from lefties, and then they'll have something closer to what they think is going to be a really good finished product. It's there. We saw it last year against righties. His struggles have been against right-handed pitchers this year, not lefties.
And that's so odd. You would think he would continue to struggle against lefties, but like you said, hopefully he can take what he learned last year, what he's learning this year, and put it together, and we can have the prospect that we thought we had, that we know we still have, in Max Kepler.
Check swing strikeout to start the fifth, and that'll bring up Astudillo. Astudillo had a chance to drive in a run, first and third, one out. Look at that breaking ball that just barely made it to McCann's glove in the air.
It's a good tight curveball, breaking down and away from Max Kepler. Wasn't able to hold up.
1-0. Astudillo could have put the Twins in front early. First and third, one down. We knew he was going to put it in play, but we thought he'd hit it farther than he did. He hit a 45-foot squibber. Here's a blast deep to left, and Astudillo hits one into the Crawford boxes. A solo home run to get the Twins on the board here in the fifth. Astudillo hits his second big league home run.
It's just a matter of time. Fastball, middle end, up. Astudillo's never seen a pitch he didn't like. Just did what he did. Hit it hard somewhere. Just happened to be over the left field fence.
Inside, a ball now to Johnny Field.
I'm looking back at all three of Valdez's walks. And his walks have been against the right-hand hitters. Grossman, Forsythe, and here Adrianza.
2-0 to Field. There's a strike. And all three walks came on 4 pitches. They came early. First 6 plate appearances. He hasn't walked anybody since. 2-2.
Field's got a very big swing for a little guy.
Astudillo flexing his muscles in front of Sano. 3-2 for the number 9 batter. Field came up with 2 men in scoring position and 2 out, hit a 2-hopper to the shortstop Bregman. Field strikes out. That's the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order and Logan Forsythe. Forsythe threw a 4-pitch walk in the first, hit a foul fly. Reddick with a long run made a nice catch on his leadoff plate appearance in the third. And a strike. And strike 2. Another off-speed pitch. Twisting into the strike zone.
Starting to get into a little bit of a groove. Just left that elevated fastball over the top half of the plate to Astudillo, but he's been down in the strike zone, pounding the strike zone with strikes.
Forsythe strikes out. Didn't get one back on the Astudillo home run, and it's 4-1. Getting the Twins on the board in the top of the 5th. If you're game for a little excitement, tonight's Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle features TC Bears' buddy Dick and Krista caught him red-handed checking out the score of the game. For being featured, they won $100 in scratch tickets. Are you up for fun? Say I'm in. I don't know whether Bears are our primary demographic, but we'll take viewers wherever we can get them.
Was that Minnesota?
Yeah. George Springer singled, got the first hit of the ball game for the Astros, and a couple of at-bats later, Bregman hit a home run.
I had a video to surface a couple weeks ago about it was a family of bears. A mom with her 4 cubs, and they just decided to take over this family swimming pool. And the swimming pool watched them, and the people watched them from the window and videotaped it. And they were out there about an hour, just jumping, going up and down the slide, and jumping in and out of the pool, having a good time.
Why
and then
not?
they just left.
Yeah. Well, the family should have, brought out some cookies or something.
No. Watch from a distance.
1-2 to Springer. Springer, Altuve, and Bregman here in the Houston 5th inning. Popped up right field. Field trotting towards the line and gets there to make the catch 1-1. Big story, one of the big stories in baseball last night. The Seattle Mariners had a little scuffle in the clubhouse before the game. They went out and lost. And so in your long and distinguished major league career, how many of those were you witness to in the clubhouse? How common is it for teammates to have a little situation like that? Well, it started out behind closed doors, and then the doors opened and a couple of players spilled out. So, but how many of those did you run into?
I've seen a few during my career. But, like, you know, every manager, every player, you're going to give the same answer. It's like being around your brothers every day, all day long. You're not always going to agree on things. Somebody's going to say something that the other person's not going to like. And sometimes there's going to be a fight. It's part of it. It's part of it. You hate to hear about it. As a teammate, you hate to see it. But it happens. It happens. You turn the page, you move on.
2-0.
Just because we're grown men now, still doesn't mean we don't have teenage flashbacks.
Right. Pitch is up now 3-0 to Altuve. The Yankee teams in the late 70s did it a lot. Oakland teams in the early 70s had it a lot.
It was a lot more common back then than it is now,
Yeah,
but it does happen.
I think so. And to be honest with you, I think one of the reasons it's so much more common now, the media coverage is so much more extensive. You know, there are more media members around. And the Riz are even wondering where that pitch was. Altuve will take a one-out walk.
Well, the Reezy was wondering where that pitch was, and Altuve hesitated like he knew it was a strike. I think it was because the umpire flinched on that. And Jeff Nelson.
It's been the one-out base runners that have really stung Odorizzi. Springer got a one-out single in the third, and then with 2 outs, Bregman homered. With 1 out in the fourth, McCann was hit by a pitch, and then 2 batters later, Gaddis homered. Let's check in with Audra Martin.
Well, guys, Paul Molitor says there is a lesson to be learned from watching Alex Bregman at the plate. He says he has tremendous bat control, and that's partially because he's not afraid to choke up on the bat if he needs to. And if he does, he's still able to find power. He says for a young guy, he's so calm on the plate. He doesn't panic, and quite frankly, he's just dangerous. He says, I have a lot of respect for the guy. He's a great hitter, and I love watching great hitters, just not great hitters against us. And that's certainly what he's been this series, guys.
He sure has been. He takes ball 1. I thought it interesting that Paul said he's not afraid to choke up from time to time, depending on the count. 2 strikes, wants a little more bat control. It looks like he's starting this at bat with about an inch, his hand about an inch up from the knob of the bat.
Has such a short, quick, powerful swing.
As we've shown and talked about, it doesn't take much here to hit the ball out down the line to left field. Blocked by Garver. Got a pitch right down the middle to start the scoring.
Right down the middle, elevated. And he loves the ball middle in. This is happy zone.
Dangerous pitch here, 2-0 to Alex Bregman. Carlos Correa's had some back issues, spent some time on the disabled list, so the decision was to get him out of the lineup tonight. Bregman playing short. Jake Marisnick tweaked an oblique here the other night. 2-1.
Odorizzi opted for the 2-0 breaking ball for a strike. See if he can repeat that.
Foul back.
Another breaking ball. You got a good hitter in Bregman who's been hot lately. You know, I don't care what you throw him right here. You just have to make sure that you do not miss middle end. He hits the ball to the opposite field, so be it. But nothing middle end.
In, off the plate, 3-2.
I thought that was a good pitch sweep sequence with the, not a fastball in, but it was a split finger in.
Andrew Vasquez getting loose down in the Twins pen.
He's been up all 3 games. Not throwing him a fastball doesn't make you look soft right here. It makes you look smart. Good breaking pitch or that split finger.
Inside of the backstop, and Altuve was off with the pitch. He'll hold up at second. Ball 4 to Bregman, who's reached all 3 times. Odorizzi's walked him twice and given up the 2-run home run. Back-to-back 1-out walks. We'll bring up Tyler White and Ervin Olsen, the pitching coach, coming to the mound. White has struck out swinging in the first and then hit a little pop-up between the mound and first base. And Odorizzi himself made the catch to close out the 3rd inning. MLB At Bat is your #1 Twins app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Twins home screen icons, features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Now a big man to get here with the Astros already up 4-1. We've seen the Twins struggle to score runs throughout this road trip. Now first and second, 1 down, and the cleanup batter at the plate.
See if you can get him beat that split finger into the ground for a 6-4-3 double play.
There has been to this point, however, just 1 ground ball out. That was Kemp's ground ball to Austin to end the 4th inning. 4 strikeouts. They came early in the first 8 plate appearances. All the other outs have come through the air. Backhanded by Garver, and it's 1-1. Is he trying to get that double play grounder here? Finish his 5th inning quickly so we can go out and complete the 6th.
His fastball is not what he used to induce double plays. It's going to have to be a breaking pitch or that just good split finger.
Up high, and it's 2-1. There's a strike, 2-2. Astros picked up a game on Oakland last night. A 3.5 game lead in the division. The Astros have put together a little 4-game winning streak. Half of that at the Twins' expense.
2-1 breaking ball. I don't see him throwing a fastball right here. He can throw him another good slider.
Just off the corner. Good pitch that just missed. And White didn't go after it. Missed by much, but was outside.
Just off the plate. Throw it 2-2. Got to back it up and throw it 3-2.
Both Altuve and Bregman run pretty well. Altuve's been dealing with a knee issue, but I wouldn't think they would go here. Not with Gurriel hitting behind White. Runners go, and the pitch lifted foul straight back. And the pitch count climbing towards 90.
He'll dig deep, make a good pitch. See if you can get him to ground the ball somewhere in the infield so he can turn 2.
Runners go again, and the pitch fouled back again. This game seemed to turn in Reddick's at bat in the 4th. Although he made it out, he had a fly ball to left. All those 2-strike fouls, and Odorizzi just hasn't been as efficient ever since. He'd already given up 1 home run at that point, but then Gaddis hit the home run right away after the Reddick at bat. Now a couple of walks and essentially wasted pitches with all these foul balls with 2 strikes. Hits are even at 3 apiece. Astros looking for more thanks to a couple of walks. Full count to Tyler White. Driven to right. Runners were off. Field with the catch. Throw coming to second base. The runners will each get back. Alert base running awareness by both Bregman and Altuve. 2 down.
It's good pitching by Jake Odorizzi. He was able to get down and make 2 good pitches at 3-2. And Tyler White's a pretty good hitter. He didn't try to pull that ball because he had a good chance that a fastball was coming. He stayed on that ball and tried to drive it to right field.
Gurriel with a couple of outfield flies. And Jeff Nelson signaling what, the 3rd mound visit, I guess. '90th pitch coming for Jake Odorizzi. Ball 1. Odorizzi has issued 4 walks, 2 of them this inning. The 2 guys who are out on the bases now. The first 2 guys were left aboard. Now he'll try to leave the 2 walkers on base here in the 5th. Falling behind Gurriel 2-0.
Another guy you have to be very, very careful with.
Odorizzi nearly walked White. He did get him. He's in danger of filling the bases for McCann, his nemesis. I'm guessing that this inning will end in this at bat, and if it doesn't, Twins will go to Vasquez to try to face McCann. Too much bad history between McCann and Odorizzi. Bad for Odorizzi and the Twins.
I just feel this is going to be his last hitter.
Drops a breaking ball over. Three and one. Base hit to right. Field charges, picks up. They're going to wave the runner. Here's Field's throw off the line, blocked by Garver. It's 5-1. Field's throw strong enough, but it was about 30 feet from home plate. And Gurriel drives in a run. Bregman goes to third. And out comes Paul Molitor to make a pitching change.
Fastball at the top of the zone from Odorizzi. Gurriel ahead in the count. Didn't try to pull that ball once again. Took what he gave him and shot the ball to right field for a run-scoring RBI single.
First time through the order was fantastic for Jake Odorizzi. After that, not so much, as the Astros have sent him off the mound, leading 5-1. Handled the Houston lineup very well the first time through, but then Springer's single, couple of home runs, a 2-out single, all the damage being done by the Astros with 2-out hitting, and it's 5-1. And Andrew Vasquez will come in and hope for a much better second outing in the big leagues than the first. 2/3 of an inning, just 1 hit and 1 run, 1 unearned run, but made 2 errors during his time in the game. And that led to the unearned run. McCann will bat. He's walked and been hit by a pitch. It's a 5-1 ball game, and Vasquez needs to get the left-handed batter here to keep the Twins in the game.
Vasquez struck out 108 batters in the minor leagues this season.
With that pitch.
With that pitch. Slurve, slider, curveball, whatever you want to call it. Has good sweeping action to it. And it's hard, very hard to recognize.
So you're McCann and you're standing there and the pitch is coming to your right shoulder, and you can even anticipate that it's a breaking ball, but it breaks late and it darts down and away. It's hard for a left-handed batter to hang in there, and it's been, at least in the minor leagues, an effective pitch against righties too.
And those wasn't his best too.
That stayed inside. 1-2. His first major league at bat Vasquez covered first base and didn't field Mauer's throw cleanly. That was an error. Then there was an error charged to him on a pickoff throw. Off the plate with a fastball, and it's 2-2.
Good fastball. After throwing him 3 sliders in a row, doing the fastball. Looked like a strike in the box. If he can get that breaking ball breaking down and away and not hovering around the middle of the plate, he can get a swing and miss from McCann for a punch out.
A meteoric rise through the system. Started in A ball, went through AA, little time in AAA, and now he's here in the big leagues. 2-2. He missed inside, now full count. Cumulatively, 106 minor league games and a 1.52 ERA. 178 innings, 266 strikeouts. Worth a look. Got a test here with the veteran McCann and a full count. And he missed outside. Got ahead of him 0-2 and lost him. Bases are loaded now for Reddick, another left-handed batter. John Curtis just called up yesterday, warming up. In the inning, 3 walks and a single. And so far, just 1 run on the board. He missed inside with a fastball. Vasquez leaves the bases loaded. The Astros add 1 more and lead it 5-1. Stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go. Pepsi fans of the game hoping the Twins can come back here. They've unfortunately fallen behind by similar scores here in all 3 games. It'll be Jorge Polanco, 1 for 2 on the night. facing Valdez, who, if he gets an out here, will have had his longest big league outing in his third big league start.
Hopefully that long inning has got him out of the rhythm that he had gotten into.
Deep foul. Astros batted for 24 minutes and scored just 1 run, leaving the bases full.
It's a good thing for the Twins.
Polanco with a 1-1 count. A line drive single right over Valdez's cap his last time up. And he offered at it for strike 2. Need base runners. Any way Polanco can get aboard would work. Wide of the plate, 2-2. And the Twins head home after the game. Open up a series with Kansas City on Friday night. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and then 3 night games with the Yankees. Down and in, 3-2. Eddie Rosario hopes to rejoin the starting lineup sometime this weekend. There's a liner to left, and that'll die in front of the left fielder Kemp. Polanco has his second hit. Single leading off the 6th, and that'll get Grossman to the plate.
3-2 breaking ball from Valdez. He's feeling very comfortable throwing that breaking ball behind in the count. Didn't fool Polanco. He stayed back on it and was able to shoot that ball to left field for a leadoff single.
Grossman walked in the first, hit a ground ball to third in the third. Strike called. And strike 2. Early on, when Valdez was struggling with his control and balls were almost outnumbering strikes 3-1. Well, now he's finally evened them up, 42 apiece. And he gets ahead of Grossman 0-2. Will Harris getting loose in Houston's pen. Now the backstop. A wild pitch will get Polanco into scoring position.
Looked like a fastball, a sinker down. It just never got to McCann and bounced behind him, up over his head and behind him.
1-2 to the batter. On the ground, Bregman. The throw pulled down by White on the play. Polanco goes to third, 1 away. We'll bring up Garver. So this is now Valdez's longest big league outing.
Thank you for the wild pitch.
Yeah, that would have been a tailor-made double play, wouldn't it? Garver hit into a double play. He's hit 2 ground balls to third. The first inning grounder ended the inning with an around the horn double play. Strike on the outside corner. one of those games where the first couple innings, the Twin starter was so much sharper than the Houston starter, and the fates have gone in opposite directions. Odorizzi struggled toward the end. This ball dribbled up the line. That's a fair ball, and Garver will get a hit. So the ball bounced away from home plate like it hit a foot or a leg, but it didn't. And Garver put it in a good spot, and he got a 60-foot single. First and third, one down, and now Austin.
It's one of those balls, you know, you don't have a chance. You got to let it continue to roll to see if it can probably roll foul.
Yeah.
You know you didn't have a chance at first base. Just let it go ahead and play out.
Only about what appears to be 6 inches between the cut of the grass and the foul line. And that'll be the end of the road for Valdez. A.J. Hinch comes out. And with 2 men on and 1 out. And a power hitter at the plate doesn't want to take any chances. So he'll bring in Harris and excuse Valdez, who's in position to maybe pick up his 3rd big league win here in tonight's series finale. And only 1 out. But he'll have to do something against right-hander Will Harris.
Will Harris, cutter, natural cutting fastball and a curveball. Cutter's 91 to 93. He'll sit at 92. Short late action. And the curveball plus depth, 12 to 6 action. 13 walks, 59 strikeouts.
And Austin has struck out twice. Good time for him to make contact. So far as a Twin, it's made little difference whether he's facing a right-hander or a left-hander. Checked his swing and took a strike. Actually hit right-handers a little bit better than left-handers. And has hit 4 home runs against righties. Half swing, strike 2.
Just a good high foot cutting fastball. Also wasn't able to hold up his swing.
Let's see if Austin can get one of his off the end of the bat specials into right field here with 2 strikes.
Go double up the high fastball.
1 and 2.
The curveball is in his future. Good 1-2 curveball right here. Probably get him swinging over the top of it.
There it is in the dirt. Austin strikes out for the third time. 2 down. That'll bring up Adrianza. Adrianza's drawn a walk and bounced to third. Twins are out hitting the Astros 5-4. A pair of 2-run home runs and the additional run in the bottom of the 5th, giving Houston a right now comfortable lead. Breaking ball, strike 1. Busted bat. The bat ends up in the seats and the ball down the right field line. That got just enough height to get over the netting above the dugout. Everybody's fine, or so it appears. And Adrianza was left with about 12 inches of nothingness in his hand.
Firewood. That's that cutter, that natural cutter that Will Harris possesses. Very potent against left-hand hitters coming in on their hands. You can see the results if they can get it in there. It's hard to keep that ball fair.
Or Tapper up the line, and nice play by Harris. He had to field the ball, throw right past the runner to first. The Twins strand 2 more in the 6th.
Yes, that's John Curtis, Twins pitcher. Definition of multi-talented, singing the national anthem before Rochester's game on Sunday. He taught himself how to play the guitar back in 2013 when he was bored at home recovering from Tommy John surgery. He said he loves to sing, but his passion is writing music. His teammates were taking bets to see how many times he would mess up, but he nailed it. Even so, though, he says that was a one-time deal. He is officially retired from singing the national anthem, guys.
I thought he did a good job. I can't imagine if I was asked to do that and I was stupid enough to accept. I can't imagine what it would sound like. I thought he did a really good job.
He did a great job, and I would never get in front of anyone and sing besides my wife and daughter.
Yeah, that's leading off against Curtis. There's a off-speed pitch and a strike. I think if I was asked, I would try to hit the first note and then hold the microphone to the crowd and ask them to sing the rest of it for me.
I told him, I said, hey, you need to sing it on the big league level now. And he was like, no. It doesn't sound that good with a guitar because of the background noise. I said, this is the big leagues, Major League Stadium. We got great sound systems. It'll sound just fine.
Said in Rochester he wished that they'd had a microphone down by his guitar. You never did hear him play the guitar. You heard him singing, but you never heard the guitar playing, and that was the whole point for John. He wanted to show, his self-taught guitar prowess. Yeah. 2-2. We saw a little bit of Curtis. He's simplified his delivery. He's gotten rid of a big leg kick, and he had a much better second half control-wise than he did in the first half.
I think getting away from the big leg kick helps, because the higher you raise your leg, the more time different parts of your mechanics gets to get out of point.
Corner. Yeah, very nice pitch there. One down.
When your lower half is fast, your arm has to be just as fast, and less time for things to go wrong. Good slider on the outside part of the plate for strike 3.
Down, and now Tony Kemp. Fastball's high, mid-90s fastball, mid-80s slider.
What he has with his fastball and his sliders, it's an overall combination of velocity and movement that he uses to attack the hitters.
Last 11 games with Rochester, a 1.04 earned run average. Texas native. A Longhorn.
Hook him.
Two and one. And now 2-2. Chance to know John this winter on the Caravan. He came back from Twins Fest, and we had a cancellation. And John was already down here in Texas and said, I'll come back. So he came back on the Tuesday because there was a blizzard in Minnesota. He couldn't get a flight on Monday. Swung on and missed, and Kemp strikes out, 2 down. So he landed in Minneapolis and then got in the car and was driven to Bemidji, about 5 hours, whatever it is, from the airport to Bemidji to join us on Caravan. That's pretty impressive for a young guy to do that.
Bemidji.
He was with us for the rest of the Caravan tour. We worked our way up to Ely. And good young man. 2 down. And here is Springer. Springer started the damage done against Odorizzi with a 1-out single in the 3rd, and then Bregman homered. 2 more in the 4th, another in the 5th before Odorizzi was excused. And a strike. 1-1. Springer getting some clarification from Jeff Nelson.
How far you're going to let him come in?
Two and one. That's to center. Kepler after it. And he'll play the Karen beautifully. But Springer still goes to second with a double. A 2-out double. The Astros continue to do some outstanding 2-out hitting. That'll bring up Altuve.
Fastball over the middle part of the plate. He was able to hit that ball right center field gap. He just kept slicing and fading away from Kepler. Played the carom very well off the wall.
Altuve 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. This is where the Astros have done all of their run scoring after the second out. Bregman's home run, Gaddis's home run, Gurriel's single. All 2-out run producing hits.
You know what, Curtis, a lot of reports, you know, his stuff is good, but he doesn't have the command. So right now he's getting by with just pure stuff. Once he learns to command that fastball and that slider on a consistent basis.
That's whacked to the corner. It's a hit. It'll be an extra base hit and another 2-out run producing hit for the Astros. Back-to-back doubles, and it's 6-1. In a bit of a slump, 0 for 19, but not anymore.
You can see what Garber sets up on that pitch. He sets up away, and that ball is in and over the plate. Two-base stands a long way from the plate, so that fastball right there to him is like right down the middle.
So he struck out the 8 and 9 batters, and the 1 and 2 batters each hit solid doubles against him, and now he gets to face Bregman. 2 walks and a home run. Held high strike.
At the big league level, that first out and that last out are the hardest 2 outs, even though you got to get 3, but that first one and that last one, hard to come by.
Chance of MVP swelling up from the crowd.
There are a lot of home crowds screaming MVP for their individual players.
There's Smith getting loose. And over the Houston dugout.
Now that's not a bad pitch if that's where Garber wants that ball. Garber's setting up on the other side away from a right-handed hitter. He hadn't been able to get that extension. He's cutting it off. He's pushing that ball to make sure he gets out there and touches Garber's glove. Got to work hard, but control your body to get on outside corner.
1 and 2. Ball checked just in time. 2 and 2. Popped up near the Houston dugout, and Austin over for a look, falls down. And it's about 2 feet into the dugout. We'll see if Austin's okay. Tried to slam on the brakes. And he skidded on the warning track, and had he not been in a skid, might have been able to reach over the railing to make the catch. See what happened here.
Just lost his footing right at the last second.
I think he'd have been in position maybe to reach over.
Good chance.
The main thing is he's all right. Curtis will try to get Bregman here to end the inning.
Have a fall like that. He kind of looks like he hurt his tailbone more than anything.
Yeah. Deep, but very fine.
Inside breaking balls. See, the thing with throwing those breaking balls to Bregman, You cannot go for the strikeout with the breaking ball in the zone. It has to be strike the ball, not ball to strike.
And Grossman's back there to make the catch and end the inning. Curtis gives up a couple of 2-out doubles. The Astros add another run, and it's 6-1. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Astros pulling away. They've scored in 4 straight innings. It's 6-1. 2019 season tickets are on sale now. Season ticket holders get the best seats at the best price and automatically become part of the Sweet Spot Rewards and Benefits program. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/season tickets or by calling 800-33-TWINS. Astros can churn out some pretty good relief pitchers too. Veteran Joe Smith comes into the ball game for the Astros, now trying to protect a 5-run lead. Look at Smith's numbers, pretty good.
They're all pretty good coming out of the bullpen. The 48th game, it's 5-1. You know, features the funky arm angle. Is going to give some right-hand hitters some problems. Good fastball, breaking ball. Good changeup. Throws a lot of strikes.
Kepler first pitch, lifting a fly to the left field corner. Kemp is there. 1 down. Time now for tonight's Coors Light refreshing finish. Well, we're going to have a pinch hitter instead. We'll do the refreshing finish later. Maybe it'll be Joe Mauer hitting a double here against Joe Smith. Astudillo was the designated hitter, homered his last time up. Mauer will take over the DH spot. Mauer, plenty of history with Smith and vice versa, of course. Smith for a long time a member of the Cleveland bullpen. And over for a strike.
Usually a guy that throws from that arm angle, they usually have problems against left-hand hitters, but that's not the case for Joe Smith. Right-hand hitters are hitting 204 and left-hand hitters are hitting 175.
When you look at all these relievers that the Astros have, Harris and now Smith, now Presley too. They don't walk people. You know, Mauer with a drive to deep center field, but on the edge of the track, making a catch out there, Springer 2 away. And now Cave will hit in Johnny Field's spot. You know, it stands to reason You know it better than I do, certainly. But you know, if you're getting the late innings, and the emphasis is on bullpens and making sure that fresh arms come in and get big outs. The last thing you want is those guys walking people, and the Astro bullpen is filled with guys who they're stingy with that. So then if you do get a base hit, maybe even two of them, if you don't walk anybody, you can still get out of the inning without allowing a run.
If you're going to give up hits, you can't walk guys. You definitely can't walk guys and give up hits, because that's a recipe for disaster. But all good bullpens, Richard, all the good bullpens, all the bullpens that are headed to the playoffs, not a lot of walks. A lot of punch outs, but not a lot of walks.
Osuna's their closer now. Nearly 30 innings. He's walked 3 guys. Davinsky struggled 40 2/3 innings. He's only walked 12. Peacock nearly 60 innings, 18 walks. Presley's, since he's come to Houston, 15 2/3 innings, no walks.
0. Zilch.
Oliver Drake getting loose in the Twins bullpen. Smith, as you saw, now 40 1/3 innings, and he's walked 8 batters. Pitch is high, and it's 1-2. Outside 2-2.
And what Joe Smith does well with his breaking ball, he's able to backdoor that pitch to left-hand hitters. A lot of times the lefties give up on that pitch, and it's a strike.
And now 3-2. If the playoffs were to end today, you'd have the wild card game, and the winner would go on and play the Red Sox, and it would be Cleveland and Houston on the other side of the ALDS. Forsythe on deck. And where the Indians have issues, at least when we left them earlier in this road trip, still some question marks about their bullpen. There are no such question marks here. No swing, and Cave will take a 2-out walk. There are no such question marks really anywhere on the roster for this Houston team. They have some health issues they'd like to get resolved in the next few weeks. They got a good bullpen. They got a good rotation. That might get deeper with McCullers and Morton returning. Here is Forsythe.
More wins in the playoffs, pitching and defense. Good pitching stops good hitting. Playoffs all about making plays, the least amount of mistakes.
Strike to Forsythe. McCullers and Morton. Tapper foul, and it's 0-2. Forsythe walked his first time up, since then a fly ball to right and a swinging strikeout.
So Joe Smith has had his success against right-hand hitters because of that arm angle, and he's never trying to throw fastballs down and away to right-hand hitters. He's keeping the ball close to their body. He's pounding them in.
Breaking ball falls out Forsythe, and it's a clean 7 for Joe Smith. 2 games here.
same results from the same guy. Alex Bregman leads the scoring off with a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. He gives the Astros a 2-0 lead over Minnesota Twins. And Evan Gattis gets him a fastball he can handle for a 2-run shot in the 4th inning to increase that lead to 4-0. And Williams Astudillo kicks him a good fastball in the 5th inning for his 2nd Major League home run. Astros lead 4-1. They've added 2 more. They score 6-1 now in favor of the Astros.
The Astros will bat here in the 7th inning, and it'll be Tyler White leading things off. Drake gave up a run in his last outing. Tony Kemp got a bunt single, and then his speed and alert base running worked his way around to score a run. So Drake will hope for a more conventional inning here, but he's got to pitch to the middle of this Astro lineup. White, Gurriel, and McCann. Jake Cave stays in the game. He's in center. Max Kepler moving to right.
Oliver has the straight over the top release arm angle, falling off to the the left hand side of the plate. He's he got some funkiness to it, some deception. It helps that his fastball and his split finger, which is his best pitch, are coming out of the same release point, the same tunnel.
Fly ball to center. A little awfully high, but not that far. Cave is there, 1 away. You know, you'll see from time to time over the course of the year pitchers who do what Joe Smith does. Trevor Hildenberg kind of throws from the sidearm, but this is a very unique delivery. You don't see someone throw straight over the top like this, and therein lies the novelty, and therein lies the hope that Drake could be an effective relief pitcher once he gets a chance to pitch in one organization for a while. Gurriel will hit next. Because of what you said, the fastball and the splitter, they both look the same coming out of his hand.
Same arm angle, same tunnel. But you know, when guys throw over the top like that, we used to call it the old the pitching machine.
Iron Mike.
The Iron Mike.
Yeah.
You don't see that too much this day and age.
Pitch is up. Drake having a little difficulty with strike zone here. 2-0. Dean Dietz and Brad Peacock getting loose in Houston's pen. Chris Young, who recently retired, was a big guy, 6'10", and he threw over the top and had the great downward plane and all that, and lasted a long time. And he didn't throw much harder than 86, 87. Drake throws harder than Chris Young did for most of his career.
Chris Young had that extra life, that carry, the spin rate on his fastball, and he threw that glove. His first movement with his glove hand was out towards the hitter, so he has some deception with that.
Drake asked to get just 2 guys. He gets one, walks the other, and the Twins will go out and get Taylor Rogers and bring him in to face the 2 left-handers, McCann and Reddick, trying to keep these Astros at 6 runs. the most interesting man in sports. You get opinion that cuts through the hype. Catch Speak for Yourself with Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock, weekdays at 4 p.m. Central, only on FS1. And the Rogers would come in to try to keep this game somewhat within reach, down by 5 already. Didn't pitch at all in Texas, pitched twice in Cleveland. And it's been 4 days since he has pitched. And he'll try to get the Twins off the field here in the bottom of the 7th. Brian McCann will hit. And then Josh Reddick.
Lefties are hitting 103 since June 28th off of Taylor Rogers, so he's been very dominant towards left-hand hitters.
Hasn't been scored on in 14 2/3 innings. And again, hasn't allowed an extra base hit to a left-handed batter all year long. Missing twice, 2-0. Back to June 28th. Lefties are just 4 for 39 against Rogers. Now he's fallen behind a good hitter, 2-0. Ground ball to short, could be 2. It's 1. And it's 2. Rogers gets the job done, and the Twins come off the field in the 7th. Because if he wants to pitch, it looks like he'll have to have his elbow done. He goes out, gets 4 hits, hits 2 home runs tonight. Brad Peacock comes in, and there some of the numbers again we were talking about. Almost 60 innings pitched, only 18 walks, 89 strikeouts, and he'll face Polanco, Grossman, and Garver in the Twins' 8th. Polanco has a pair of hits, both singles.
Peacock's numbers almost look identical to Presley's number. 18 walks, 89 punch-outs.
Short left coming in is Kemp, but he'll get there, 1 away. And Polanco's retired on 1 pitch.
Peacock's fastball, 4-seam fastball, is 92 to 95 miles an hour. That was a sinker, 91 to 94. Curveball, 78 to 80. Loopy with a very big break. The slider, 80 to 84. Big sweeping action with just a little depth to it.
Grossman is 0 for 2. He walked his first time up. Since then, a couple of ground balls. Has a right-handed batter against the lefty Framber Valdez. Showing bunt, taking a strike.
Peacock pitches well at the bottom of the zone.
Missing, it's 1-1.
Not a guy that has to elevate to get his punch outs. He can get his punch outs all over the strike zone.
Big pop-up, short left. Retreating is Gurriel, but Kemp will call him off, make the catch, 2 down. Things are done with the Indians, and after tonight they'll be done with the Astros. You've seen both. If they are first-round playoff opponents, what's your prediction?
I'm about to go with the Astros. I think their rotation is just a tick better, but their bullpen is what's going to set them, put them completely over the top.
That seems to be the difference between the two teams, doesn't it? I think in Houston's lineup,
both teams can hit.
Yeah.
They play defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. When it boils down to it, what's going to get you over the hump in the playoffs, it's going to be pitching.
Could be some great pitching matchups in that series, though. Starting pitching matchups. Don't think we'll see openers in the playoffs, do you?
I hope not.
But you could have Verlander and Kluber. You could have Cole and Carrasco.
Morton, Clevenger.
Carver out in front. That's 2-1. Thought he'd get a fastball, but he didn't. Swing and a miss.
A lot of good matchups. But remember, these good teams, you won't be seeing an opener.
Yep.
That good slider from Peacock started in the middle of the plate and just kept going left away from Garver's bat.
And now he gets the fastball and takes it for a strike. Garver singled his last time up. It was an infield hit. A bounder about 60 feet up the third baseline. And now the backstop with the breaking ball.
Hit the Raising Cane's chicken sign.
Matt Belisle getting loose. Look ahead now, see who he's going to try to hit if he pitches in the eighth.
Oh, Richard, I love it.
That still irks me. I don't know how anybody could have thought that Matt Belisle was going to try to hit Adrian Beltre.
Everybody in the ballpark.
Except the home plate umpire.
Except for the home plate umpire.
Austin comes out of the game and Petit will hit. Now we hope this is just because Paul Molitor wants to get Petit in at bat, but remember Austin had that slip and fall by the Houston dugout. So we'll wait for the post-game media conference with the manager, see if he mentions anything about Austin hurting himself. I sure hope not. Austin had struck out all 3 times here tonight. And so Petit will bat.
Not a good night to have to come out of the game because you slipped on the dirt in front of the home dugout with 3 punch outs.
Taken low, ball 1. So we just talked about how this Houston bullpen doesn't walk anybody. And the Twins took a walk against the bullpen in the 7th. Now another one here in the 8th. Bounced foul, and it's 1-1. And we're led to believe that's Petit's family.
Yeah, those are his 2 boys. He brought them in the clubhouse last night after the game.
Oh, good.
To get ice cream.
Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Petit hit in Rochester. There weren't many guys who did this year, but Petit, when he was with the Rochester Red Wings, hit a little bit. That was one of the issues for Rochester. The lineup didn't do particularly well. And he got a piece to stay alive. Petit was with the big league club earlier this year, but as Audra mentioned, the family's from Houston.
What a pleasant surprise for the family. Gets called up and get a chance to come to Houston and play in front of the family.
And a strikeout ends the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Houston up 6-1. Thank you, my friend. Gregorio Petit stays in the game. He's at third base. And across the way, Adrianza taking over at first. And yes, we'll try to get some word as to whether there was an issue with Tyler Austin leaving the ball game, because the Twins hit for him in the batting order and replaced him at first base. Reddick will face Taylor Rogers, who was asked to get 2 outs, and he did, but he only faced 1 man. And now Reddick takes a ball and swings at strike 1.
First pitch was a breaking ball that stayed up and in towards Reddick, and then he threw a really good one that was down and away. He swung over the top of for strike 1 to get back in the count, 1-1.
Off the end of the bat, and that'll stay fair right off the end, and Reddick gets a base hit leading off the 8th inning. Take a look at the replay and see what part of the bat Reddick made contact with. If it's a 34-inch bat, it was the 34th inch.
Good breaking ball. He pulled off of it and just hit it where we were not playing.
Paul Molitor wanted Rogers to get Reddick. Through no fault of his own, he didn't get him. It's a leadoff hit. Now it looks like Matt Belisle will come in to face Evan Gattis. downer to left. Gaddis hitting a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. And that made it 4-0, and the Astros have gone on to take a 6-1 lead. It'll be Matt Belisle facing Gaddis. Really couldn't bring Belisle in to face Reddick. Left-handers are hitting an incredible 465 against Belisle, and so he'll hopefully get a couple of outs here with a couple of right-handed batters.
No doubt 2018 has been a struggle for Matt Belisle. He's been working on something while changing his arm angle while he was on the DL, and try to create a little bit more deception and some movement on his fastball, and didn't get a chance to see if that was going to work the other night in Texas because Alan Porter thought it was okay to throw him out of the game after hitting Beltre.
Belisle threw 3 pitches. One was, I think, a strike. The other one was way outside. The other one was way inside, and it hit Beltre. And the home plate umpire thought that Belisle did it on purpose. There was a little history between the two teams, specifically the Twins and Jurickson Profile. How about this? Out there, and Forsythe with a quick turn. Nice job by Logan Forsythe with a catch and a quick release to first base. That was fun to watch. Rogers got a double play to the first man he faced, and so did Belisle.
We talk about him changing his arm angle. I played catch with Belisle for 2 years in 2014 and 15 in Colorado. Everything was over the top. You see that arm angle was out to the side, created a little sink, was able to get Gaddis to ground to the third base for a double play.
See if he can get Kemp now, the left-handed batter, with 2 down in the inning. And you said it in relation to Joe Smith. Usually when a right-hander drops down, they're even more vulnerable to the offside hitter. And, you know, Belisle's already struggled so much against lefties with the 465 opponent batting average.
Well, let's hope the arm angle helps him with movement.
Right.
Because if he can get that sink in movement, that's down and away to the left-hand hitter, and he can get more ground balls.
Tony Sipp getting loose in the Astros pen. Inside, 3-1. Springer on deck. Tap foul. 3-2. Anyway, to Belisle's situation, generally when you're kicked out of a game, you're also fined, and he said he will appeal that fine. He's got Adrian Beltre, who called over to the Twins clubhouse afterwards and said, hey, I know you didn't do it on purpose, so don't worry about my hurt feelings or anything like that. And so Belisle figures, look, if the guy who got hit knows I didn't do it, why should it come out of my pocketbook? So
the only hurt feelings, I think, in the whole situation was the home plate umpire.
That's outside, and Kemp and his speed will be at first with 2 down. Here's what happened Sunday in Texas. The game was a blowout game, and Belisle hit Beltre in the back of the arm, and Alan Porter.
On Sunday night after the game, Michael Young, ex-retired Texas Ranger, had a charity event in our area, and myself and Torrey Hunter and a lot of the Ranger players were there, and Beltre walked in. I started talking to him. He was like, the first pitch to him, he looked at, that's not Matt Belisle's arm angle, because he saw him drop down to the side a little bit. And he said it kind of caught him off guard. And he said then he threw the pitch in the other batter's box. And he was like, the whole world knew except for Porter that he didn't try to hit me on purpose.
Well, just common sense needs to prevail. And Paul Molitor told me afterwards, he said, look, if I wanted to hit Beltre, I'd have let Tyler Duffy leave him in the game and let him do it. Why would I bring in a new pitcher to hit somebody and then he gets tossed? It just didn't make any sense. 1-1 to Springer. And missing again, 2-1.
You know, he walked the last hitter and he's 2-1 on Springer. But I like what I'm seeing from Belisle. He's throwing harder from that arm slot. He has movement, so when you have movement like that, you have just a little bit more room for error. And his slider's been good from there.
He walked the number 9 batter. Now it's 3-1 to Springer.
It's going to take some getting used to.
A year ago, he was the closer for a playoff team.
It's going to take some getting used to, and you know, it's different when you're doing it in the bullpen as opposed to getting out there. You got to fight your body, not wanting to do it the way you've always done it.
Springer beat the shift with a 7-hopper to right field. First and second, 2 down, and now Altuve.
Good fastball down in the zone, sinking. He got what he was looking for, a ground ball. He just hit it where we were not playing.
Altuve drove in a run with a double his last time up, breaking an 0-for-19 skid.
The top of his lineup has been very tough tonight.
They scored 4 of the 6 runs. Driven in 3 of them. 1-0.
Looking at Bilal, he has the correct arm slot. Now he's looking for the correct release point where he can be consistently in the zone. But if anybody that can get his body to do something completely different than what he's been accustomed to doing for the last almost 20 years is Matt Bilal.
I think you can see it from the center field camera. There is more movement.
Lots more movement.
But now how do you harness that? How do you control it?
By getting out there and using it and throwing it and working on it in the bullpen, working on it, playing catch.
And that's exactly the pitch there that hit Beltre. The difference is Altuve's barely standing in the batter's box compared to Beltre. So now 3-0 to Altuve and Bregman on deck. Watch right over behind the rubber, and you can see that ball really sailing inside to a right-hander.
A release point.
3-0.
Good.
And now they're loaded up. So Bilal got the double play grounder off the bat of Gaddis. Now a walk, single, walk, and they're loaded for Bregman. Bregman with a 2-run home run for the 3rd game in a row in this series. He started the scoring. It just took him a couple innings later tonight. He's also mixed in 2 walks, and he hit a wicked line drive caught by Grossman in left field in the 6th. Ball 1.
I can see where Bilal is on the mound. He's all the way on the first base side. He's trying to give himself a little room for error with the arm angle coming out, you know, right over the third base side of the mound.
There's a strike taken, 1-1. This will be his 20th pitch.
Don't look like he's in the middle now.
Foul back 1-2. We've seen a tailing fastball. I don't know that we've
that
seen
ball right there ate Bregman up.
Yeah. But I don't know that we've seen the complimentary breaking ball.
But if that ball's straight, he hits that Gardner Denver sign out there. Halliburton, Lexus. That little late movement at the end helps. I know he has the bases loaded. Things hadn't went the way he would like. But I like it.
There's the breaking ball, backhanded by Garver, 2-2. Going to make it happen here on 2-2. count with the bases full. White on deck. For Belisle, 22 pitches, only 7 strikes. One of them was beaten into the ground for a double play. To left. Over the reach of Grossman. And it'll clear the bases. A double for Bregman and 3 more runs batted in to add to his total in the series. Nearly cleared Grossman's reach with a line drive in the 6th, but he did it here in the 8th.
A 3-2 fastball. Got to throw a strike, challenge them. He kept it in the ballpark. And just out of the reach of Grossman's glove.
J.D. Davis running for Bregman, who's done enough damage. 5 runs batted in today. As well as he's been swinging the bat, I didn't expect a good outcome in that at bat. The longer the at bat had gone, the more Bregman had seen the new arm angle for Belisle. He just got the sense that he was going to do some more damage, and he did. 1 strike to White.
We'd have had Grossman playing where he had been playing the first 7 innings. He'd have been right to him.
Inside. Well, all 3 runs charged to Belisle. He's faced 5 men and retired 1. Bregman now has 96 runs batted in.
It's a huge series against the Minnesota Twins.
Tapped foul, and it's 1-2.
And with this new arm angle, I think the hardest pitch that once everything starts to come together, the last pitch will probably be the curveball. And the slider's going to come. 2-seamer's going to be there with the extra movement.
Remember last year in spring training, we'll follow this pitch here first. And fouled away. Craig Breslow worked all winter long on dropping his arm angle and brought it into spring training. But here, Belisle's trying to do it within the season. Moya getting loose.
You know, comes a time in your career where you have to make, a major adjustment.
1-2. It's fouled away. Now you're looking at a elevated pitch count now for Belisle. He's getting close to 30 pitches.
You only threw 3 the other night.
That's true.
But you know what? I mean, the result hadn't been good, but it's good that he's out there competing at the major league level with his new arm angle. And he's going to go back and look at video. He's going to learn something from this, because it's tough. It is tough to change your arm angle from totally different from the way it's been the last 20 years. 9 hits, 0 errors. Twins 1 run, 5 hits, 0 errors. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the account and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
And you got to hit the road right after the game. This is your last telecast this year, huh?
Yes, indeed. I got a long drive home to Texas. I mean, North Dallas.
Well, I mean, you can live in Texas and have a longer drive than that.
That's true. You're right.
Hey, I've enjoyed it. You've done a good job, and we'll hope to do it again next year, all right?
We will do it again next year.
All right. Adrianza will lead things off against Tony Sipp. It'll be Adrianza, Kepler, and Mauer, or at least the designated hitter spot. Now a delay for some reason. And now we're ready to go.
Tony Sipp was originally drafted by the Cleveland Indians by a minor league Twins teammate of mine, Timothy Moore. I used to call him House. It was his first big league he signed. Tony Sipp.
And so he delivers strike 1 to Adrianza. Sipp just 1 home run allowed in 32 and 2/3 innings. Foul back.
Sipp has had a bounce back year. Last year at a 5.79 ERA. This year 2.20.
Marisnik is in center field. And Gurriel, Davis, and Stassi's behind the plate. Those are the changes. And last year, one of Sipp's problems, not to beat a dead horse, control. 16 walks in 37 1/3 innings. So touch on the high side. 1-2 to Adrianza. Popped up left field. Kemp makes the play. 1 down. And that'll bring up Kepler. 1 for 3 on the day. Getting a chance again to hit against a left-hander. And ball 1. So far with just 2 wins on this 9-game road trip. And Kepler takes a strike. Kepler with another hit against a left-hander. 1-out single in front of Kemp and left. And that'll bring up Chris Jimenez, who will hit in what has been the DH spot. Mauer hit there and hit a fly ball to center in the 7th.
You know where you can see where adjustment has been made by Kepler off a left-hand hitting. Last year, that ball he would have tried to pull it.
Right.
This year, he shot that ball to the opposite field. And this is what happens when you get the September call-ups and guys making their major league debut.
And this is what happens too.
9-1.
9-1 lead. We got a pitcher. Astros comfortably in front. Jimenez hitting for Mauer, and as soon as Jimenez was announced, A.J. Hinch made the change, and Dietz will have the thrill of his life here.
No feeling like it. First major league appearance.
Started the year with an 80-game suspension, and worked his way through Fresno, and now is here about to face his first big league hitter.
Selected in the 11th round of the 2014 MLB draft.
Jimenez was lifted for a pinch hitter last night. Checked with him today. Everything was fine. Paul Molitor just wanted to get Max Kepler in at bat. This one off the end of the bat, and Kemp gets under it for out number 2. Everything hit the left, including Kepler's a single. And Dietz has just retired his first big league batter.
On one pitch.
On one pitch. This is easy. And now we'll see if Jake Cave can
make his life a little more complicated.
A really bad dream.
Make his life a little bit more complicated.
Yeah. Cave walked in a pinch hitting appearance in the 7th and then stayed in the game, played in the outfield. Nearly to the backstop. Ball 1, Cave. Cave had a tough day at the plate yesterday, striking out 3 times. Austin's had a tough time tonight. Hooked foul.
Dietz was born in Nixa, Missouri. You know XA?
Never heard of it. My
Never heard
Missouri
of it.
geography isn't real great, but I lived there for 5 years. Never heard of it.
Went to college at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M.
1-1 to Cave. And now an off-speed pitch hitting the corner. Finishes the ball game, and the Indians finish off the Twins, making it a 3-game sweep. Anthony, I think fans looked at this road trip, given what's happened to the Twins roster, and thought this could be a tough one, and they were right. The Twins got a win in Cleveland, one in Texas, and they have been swept now by the defending world champs.